So Angus back with another video, and this is 10 more reasons you're not losing weight. So reason one, not sleeping enough. So when you're not sleeping enough, your body is more likely to take the calories you're going to use the next day and store them as fat, and also downregulate the amount of movement you're doing. You're also going to get an increased hunger, and you're more likely to be craving carbohydrates and fats together. So you're more likely to overeat the next day. So if you have two twins, one of them you give decent sleep and the other one you give inadequate sleep, the next day the twin with the bad sleep is more likely to get heavier. If you do this week over week or day over day, this can eventually add up to be several pounds, several stones. So get quality sleep if you want to get leaner. Reason two, when you eat. So when you eat can be quite a controversial subject. Some people will say that having a fasting window will lessen the amount of calories you store and give your body more time to burn fat. And some people will say the total amount of calories per the day doesn't matter when you eat. One thing that you can do is give yourself at least 12 hours of no food. So say you have your last meal at 8 o'clock, you don't eat again until 8 a.m. the next day. This can give your digestive system a little rest, and it will also flip you over to becoming a little bit more effective at burning fat, which is part of metabolic flexibility. Number three, hydration. Being hydrated can be really effective at helping burn extra calories, because when you're fully hydrated, you're going to store more water, therefore you're going to be slightly heavier. 1 liter of water is 1 kilo of weight. That's an extra kilo you have to carry around, which means that's an extra kilo of energy you're burning throughout movement. If two people walk the same distance, but one person is a kilo heavier, they will burn more calories because they're moving more mass through space. Hydration is also shown to improve exercise performance and exercise strength. So when you're in the gym, you're actually leaving reps, times, and effort behind that you could be doing more, which is extra effort that could add up to a lot more calorie burn over time. So hydration is important. Reason for why you might not be losing weight could be excess salt. So too much sodium or too much salt in your diet can make you appear heavier than you are. So if you have something like a ready meal or a takeaway, you can be several pounds heavier the next day because you're storing more water, because the sodium helps store water in it. This isn't a good or a bad thing. It's just weight on the scale and isn't reflective of fat. Reason five, carbohydrates. So good old carbs get a really bad rap. They're the one macronutrient you can actually live without, but it's also your body's preferred fuel source. There is a sort of saying in the fitness industry that 1 gram of carbohydrates will store an extra 3 grams of water. Although this is tissue dependent, it's a good round number to work with. So if you've been on a few low carb days and suddenly you have a high carb day or a refeed day, you're going to store a lot more water, as carbohydrates will store as glycogen in the muscles and draw water into the muscles, making you feel fuller, look better, but way heavier. This again isn't fat. It's just weight on the scale. Number six, a big poo. One of the reasons the scale might not be shifting, again, this isn't fat. You might just have a big poo, or even a pee or trapped water inside you that needs to come out. This is why I would always advise when you're measuring yourself on the scale, before you eat and drink anything and after you've been to the toilet. It can make a bit of a difference. Another thing that can affect the weight on the scale is exercise. Especially something like weight training with legs or going for a run. Generally something involving the larger muscle groups like legs, or a full body workout, which again includes legs, can cause a bit of inflammation in the body and can help you kind of store water in your body as your muscles are kind of a little bit inflamed and a little bit bigger. What a lot of these are highlighting is there's a lot of ways you can store fluid in the body or store a little bit of extra weight in your body that isn't fat, but will make the scale maybe go up. And this is why the scale isn't such a good tool to measure your progress. Next up is an adaptation, capillaries. So capillaries are your little blood vessels that exist in you, and you actually get more capillaries as you begin to exercise and as you become stronger or more efficient. It's one of the things that adapts, and with this you will store more fluid, more blood volume in you, and this again can cause you to weigh heavier But if your exercise performance is improving, it's a really good sign that this is what's happening. Next is bone density. So I'm sure you've heard that weight training is important, especially for ladies, because they're susceptible to osteoporosis. But osteoporosis is just your bone kind of thinning out and getting weaker. And a healthy bone should be more dense, thicker bone density. The more bone density you have, the more actual physical weight you weigh, which makes your bones stronger, but will make you weigh heavier on the scale. Of course, this isn't fat, this is bone density and is part of your lean mass on your body. The last reason you may not be losing weight is you're just not fit enough. To lose weight, and particularly a lot of weight, takes time. And as you do this, you downregulate your body. So you're starting at a certain point of calorie burn and you're reducing that lower and lower and lower. It makes way more sense to be able to start at the highest possible level you can. That way you have more distance between the top level of calories you can have to the lowest level of calories, when fat loss will eventually stop and plateau out and you just get too hungry and too annoyed and give up on your diet. So an example would be someone who burns 1,800 calories and they start a diet. So when they start a diet, they maybe go down to 1,200 calories or 1,300 calories, and they maintain this for a little bit of a while, and let's just pretend that they're doing everything fantastically and everything fantastically well and it's working really well. And then all of a sudden, the calories aren't working. Their option now is to either up their exercise or down their calories even more. But it's really difficult to adapt exercises when you don't have enough calories. Furthermore, you're likely to get an injury because you're not repairing those muscles properly. Scenario 2, we've got someone who's maybe overweight, but they've started to build up their fitness over 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 12 weeks, doesn't matter how long, but they've built up their fitness and they've also built up their calories. So instead of burning 1,800, which was maybe their starting calories, they've moved it up to 2,300. So now when they diet, they can diet at 1,800. And now when that kind of 1,800 is no longer working for them, they can allow themselves to drop those calories a little bit more. And they're also fit enough if they need to maybe up their exercise a little bit. So instead of focusing on weight loss, think about focusing on improving your fitness first and getting a few milestones under your belt. So that's all in this short video. If you thought that was helpful, give it a like, give it a share. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you.